So the Ace family has 2 events coming up in the same month, and it's basically less than a month away at this point, one of them. It feels like they know something that we don't too, because listen, I only ever talk about people or situations when things seem like sketchy, something isn't right, or that like there's something going on. There's so many people that put on events every single day that don't get talked about because there's nothing to say other than that was a success. If you don't do anything wrong or have a history of scams or lies, then people probably aren't going to be talking about you. But the Ace family thinks because they're so famous and their names are so clickable that people are going to talk about them. There is much bigger people on this platform than them and their names. People are tired, honestly. They're tired of hearing about the things that they're doing because there's so many things that they do. So they can stop acting like they're so A-list. They're like these superstars and people are tearing them down just for no reason. There's so many people that don't want to hear about them anymore. I totally get that. But every single time they say something, I'm just like, you guys, like, honestly, it's just unbelievable at this point, the things that they say sometimes. It's not even like, oh, look at the Ace family anymore. Like, I'm just sitting here shaking my head. Like, can you be serious right now, Dolores and Austin? You guys realize that people are tired of your games. People aren't talking about you because it's like so juicy and fun. Like, people mostly talk about the Ace family these days because it's just so unbelievable what they will come up with to save their own butts and what they will say next to their Ace family members in order to make it seem like they're actually not lying or scamming, even though they've admitted to those things. Because as much as I'm like, oh yeah, like a scam, like yeah, lies. Whenever they got on camera and had the audacity to say that they like never do anything wrong and they don't understand why people talk about them, that's when I'm like, are you serious right now? So in a recent video, the 2 of them gave a big warning to their Ace family members, telling them that people are going to start making lots of videos about them and using their name because of their events coming up.
But I have to say, and you heard it here first, right? For all of our OG followers, if you're watching and you're listening to this right now, okay? Be prepared for some just drama, some unwanted, just weird vibe, weird energy coming towards the Ace family name in the next month or so. It happens like waves. It kind of comes and goes depending on how much we're doing. If we're out there and we're doing events, there's just more thrown at us. Just be prepared that that's coming. Don't click these drama channels. Don't click these news outlets because they're just trying to get you to click. So don't do it.
I feel like our loyal Ace family members already know that, but it's good that you address that.
I mean, it, like literally, like it happens every time. Yeah. It's like clockwork. It's like something I just know. It's not even intuition anymore. Yeah. It's like, no, this happens every time. It's literal forensic evidence.
What is she talking about forensic evidence? Like, the forensic evidence is that there are legal documents saying that you guys have been sued. People were not paid at that fight until recently when the lawsuits were settled. And Austin admitted to underpaying people. And this man has gone on camera and said that he scammed fans before. So I wouldn't be saying all of this, Dolores.
We've seen it. It's real and it's there. And just don't buy into it. Don't listen to it. I'm telling you, like, it comes in waves.
Positive vibes only.
Their festival and the boxing match Austin is organizing are both in a couple weeks, basically. And literally, if you guys weren't so sketchy with the festival, then nobody would care. But that's why people are talking about it. And how do you know people are going to continue talking about it? Is there something that you guys know that we don't? Like, is something going to happen? People only talk when there's an issue. So if, this is not about to be a success of an event, that's when people would talk about it. If they have like a grand old time and like everybody loved their experience at the ACES, like people wouldn't, like there's nothing to talk about. Like, good for you guys. Like, I genuinely hope that's the case because people spent hundreds of dollars to go to their Ace Fest. But the reason why people were talking about it a couple months ago was because you guys were like literally gatekeeping where it was. Plus, the only reason why the boxing match is so controversial is because the last one was an absolute disaster and ended with several lawsuits. Fighters not being paid what they were promised, and it also took so long for them to even get that pay. Austin literally admitted it in this long paragraph on his Instagram story the day before he announced his next fight, because he needed this big of a disclaimer to basically get away with having another event. People aren't just talking about them and their events because they made up stuff. No, there's actual legal proof that you guys were sued, and fighters were coming out saying that they didn't see their promised amounts of money. And there was also a ton of weird stuff at the beginning when the festival was announced, like I said, like them not being able to say when it was. It was just strange. Saying it's in one place, but it actually being in another, saying it's Disneyland meets Coachella, then removing that promise after tickets were bought. These two blame other people for talking about them, yet they're giving people things to talk about, and it's embarrassing. I know that a lot of people want to get into controversies because it will like give them more promotion and things like that, but this is like the worst case of that I've ever seen. Like, I just don't think that they do this stuff on purpose. I think they really just get in with really bad people to, like, to partner with for events that they put on or things that they're selling in some like get rich quick scheme, and then it just blows up in their face. Like, did nobody learn from TanaCon that you can't just do something in like 2 seconds and expect to like make a bunch of money? It's actually hard to put on events. I mean, Austin was literally on camera saying the Ace Family fans have been scammed before. But yet they both want to get on camera and act like they're being attacked by the media for no reason at all, other than they're famous and people make stuff up about them.
You guys have asked what has happened with the Ace Club when we were doing exclusive content with the Ace Club. And unfortunately, the people that we partnered with in that adventure, they end up, I don't really like to talk negatively, but they just weren't good partners. They end up unfortunately scamming us, and it kind of like hurt us in a way because in reality, like, you guys got scammed.
I'm sorry, but nobody made this up. Nobody made that clip up. That was real, and Austin posted that himself. Those words came out of his mouth. He admitted to scamming Ace Family fans in the past. And it's times like that, when fans get scammed by the two of them, that people question events that they have coming up. I mean, it's truly no wonder why nobody trusts them.
In reality, like, you guys got scammed.
First that they tried to sell to people last year called How I Became a Millionaire. It was $50 a month, okay, for the highest tier and around $8 for the lowest tier. And Austin claimed that he was going to make like the next big influencer. If you signed up for the course, you could be a millionaire just like me. He said that there would be 48 videos in that year, one video every single week. And if you did the $50 a month package, you would get exclusive private community chats. He was going to bring in other celebrities, creators to hear from, go live with everyone, pick a few people for weekly FaceTime calls, pick a few people to promote per month, pick a few people to verify / give them the blue check mark. Like, did any of this ever happen? Because they haven't talked about it since they tried to sell memberships.
People will say, you know, I can't afford it. That's why I'd love to see it in another way or whatever the case is. But I feel like I've seen you, how hard you've been working. I see, you know, like the pages and pages and pages of notes and just your strategy with this. And like, I genuinely feel like everything you're doing is from the heart. You didn't have to do this. That's what's crazy. It's not about the money. It's not about the memberships. It's about you truly like wanting to do this.
Like, I have not seen them post anything about this since the day that they tried to, you know, make people buy this. And they tried to say that it wasn't for money. Yet I'm just not understanding how they can get on camera and they have the audacity to say people just love hating on them and making up lies. Like, where are the lies? They literally only come from you guys. Any information that I use in my videos is just clips of them talking and me being like, this is what they said this day. This is what they said this day. And sometimes it does not line up. And that's why people talk about you guys. That is why. I mean, seriously, it is just such a mess. Yet they like want to sit there and be like, oh, people love us because we're so famous. And that's why people want to hate on us and talk about this. Like, just ignore it, you guys. Just ignore the headlines. Just ignore the videos. Like, how do you know a ton of videos are going to be made? How do you guys know a ton of articles are going to be written? Is it because something bad's going on? Like, dang, if I had a ticket to the Ace Fest, I would be really worried. Like, why do you think that all this drama is coming? Drama only follows if bad things are coming. So buckle up, everybody. I don't know what we're about to see go down at the Ace Fest, but I definitely want to know what you guys have to think about what they said in the comments down below. I love you guys so much, and I will talk to you guys in the next video. Bye, guys.